It's Frankie DiVita, and we are here at NAMM 2011 Anaheim Convention Center with Lanny Cordola. How you doing, Lanny?
Doing great, thank you. How about you, Frankie?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to run into you. I haven't seen you in quite some time, and you have been a busy boy.
Yes, indeed.
So tell me what's going on with Lanny right now.
I just got back from Pakistan. It's a project called Sonic Peacemakers. We started last July here in LA with Matt Sorum and Gilby Clarke from Guns N' Roses, collaborating with Atif Aslam, who's a famous Pakistani singer. And I traveled there in September to get other musicians involved on our peacemaking efforts. And so it's kind of a combination of humanitarianism, activism, and music to give a voice to the situation in Pakistan, build closer relationships between Pakistanis and Americans, and to bear witness to a lot of the struggles of the kids over there and bring musical instruments and going into conflict areas and war zones to help with those situations.
Do you feel with this last trip that you accomplished anything?
Oh yeah, I made some incredible new friends, learned a lot. I was educated about the heart from these little kids that I met in these flood affected areas. They just had these incredible floods that wiped away so many these people's, what little they had was wiped away. So we went in there and visited the people, and it was really life-changing to be able to use music now to give voice to that. It's going to be a lifelong thing for me now.
So how does this work? You fly there, you go in with some instruments, and you kind of gather these kids around and play for them, or you teach them how to play, or are you actually doing some kind of like actual work there with them?
Actually, all of that. We actually went there to shoot a video in Charsada, which was heavily affected by floods. We shot this video, this song that Atif and our other partner Todd Shea, who is an American aid worker over there, who started all of this. And then we went to Swat Valley, which was where the Taliban were. And this was the first time the children ever heard music was the song that we did in this video. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. It really was.
So Sonic Peacemakers, this is a group that you started?
Started with Todd Shea, who's the aid worker I was telling you about. His organization is called Shine Humanity. And the whole purpose of this is to, shine a light upon the different organizations and people that are doing great work in these kinds of fields, because music has the capacity to infiltrate the heart, the mind, and the soul like no other human endeavor. And Atif Aslam, who's come on board with us, who is just this phenomenally talented singer, sort of like a Jeff Buckley singer, but he is the most popular singer over there. So he's in these flood affected areas, and so it was a musical thing, it was a cultural thing, it was a spiritual thing, to go into mosque and pray with these men and to become friends with them and partnering up on how to spread peace and give a brighter future for the kids over there and ultimately the kids over here in other parts of the world.
Well, I have to say, I've talked to Matt Sorum before, and I know he's been involved in different humanitarian events in his life, and now you've been doing this for quite some time now. I think it's great that a musician can now actually use their music for a humanitarian effort. I mean, you see when there was the earthquake in Haiti, celebrities get together and they have a telethon or whatever. But you guys are actually going there and doing things and making a difference. And what prompted you to even start doing that?
Well, there's a song by John Lennon called Imagine. So imagine if you actually go there and meet the people and become friends with them and then make music with them and then learn from them and then teach their children and learn from their children. It becomes a whole encompassing life experience. So often, musicians, we become very self-indulgent. We think we have this gift and then the world revolves around us. So when we can switch that the other way around, yes, I'm quite guilty of it myself, but it just, everything changes. I mean, every human being has so many dimensions to them. And artists and musicians have this gift to express that. So this is what this is all about. And Matt and I have our group called Global Sound Lodge. And Matt's very passionate about music education. He comes from that background. He's a very educated and passionate about that. And so we're looking to further that wherever we can partner up with schools. We've already become partners with Greg Mortensen, who has Central Asia Institute. And Greg started his first school in 1993 in Pakistan. He since then has built 160 schools, and his whole focus is on empowering girls. And so that's another thing we're doing. We started an all-girls rock and roll choir called the Songline Girls Choir. So to empower girls, and we have another project called Her Bravery, which is about empowering women in these developing countries. And so it's just incredible. It's just like a nonstop flow of creative energy to express all of these things.
So do you feel like you're paying it forward or leading by example?
I hope to embody it and lead by example. It's just a whole lifestyle change.
Do you see when other musician friends of yours see what you're doing, do they tend to ask you more about it? Like, are they curious?
Well, there's a great dialogue, and everybody has great additions to it. You know, some people want to bring in instruments, some people want to connect technology with schools over there and here. So everybody's contributing that. And of course they see me and they either run or they come up and go, yeah, what's going on? What can we do? So the ones that are running aren't ready yet. That's okay, because I ran for most of my life from these kinds of things. And then once you get it, you get it. And when you do, it's it. You know, you really find your call. You know.
So what could people watching you talk to me right now, what can they do to help?
Well, they can go to our website, sonicpeacemakers.org, and take a look at what we're doing. If they feel compelled, they can contribute finances, they can contribute instruments, and then just somehow, whatever it is you do, just get involved with something and somebody and become better friends with the world and your neighborhood and your community. And that's what's happened for me. I used to run from my neighbors, and now my neighbors run from me because I'm like, hey!
You want to come over for coffee?
Yeah, it really is. It's really, I came back in September, and like all my friends I looked at differently, and my family I looked at differently because, your heart opens up to this magnificent dimension, and so it's miraculous.
That's a beautiful thing.
It's a mission of miracles, and really, I can't thank the people over there enough. I mean, they were so generous. And my first night over there, I'm in a small room that just didn't smell very well. And I'm with like 7 guys that look like Taliban guys with the big beards and the whole thing. And these are like my new best friends. And I was like the happiest guy alive. I'm like, wow,
That's really cool.
Yeah, so I've been blessed. I've been able to play with some great musicians, and the guys in Guns N' Roses, and Nancy Sinatra, the Beach Boys, and all of that, and now to be able to take all of that into realms that we don't even know about Pakistan. They don't know about us. And now through music, we can start bridging those gaps.
I think that's great, and I had to get you on camera because what you were telling me was just incredible, and I think it's a very rare thing to see in a musician, in a rock star, in this industry, in this business. It's usually like, oh, call me when you need me, but you're actually going out there and making a difference. But what is going on now with you as far as your musical career goes?
That's it. But I did play on the new Cherie Currie album that Matt Sorum produced, which is really a phenomenal project. But this is all encompassing. All the music is all going towards that. I mean, there's just so many things going on in the world. And
you kind of found a calling.
Well, yeah.
Beyond what you thought it was.
Way beyond, yeah. I think I had inklings along the way, but I just think music right now, I mean, it takes on new dimensions when it's just not a product. But it's not just showbiz. It's not just putting on your thing and going out and separating yourself. It's really getting in and engaging. There's a great poet named Mary Oliver, and she wrote a poem, and the first line of it is, "My work is loving the world." So when you think about that and what that means, I'm writing a book about this with Sean Perry, and who's got his Vintage Rock. I actually write for VintageRock.com. I've written some articles for that. And so creating and using it for the benefit of the greater good.
So give me those websites again where people can go and find out more about what you're doing.
Well, we have globalsoundlodge.org, which is Matt Sorum and I, and we have sonicpeacemakers.org, which is the project in Pakistan and Afghanistan, and then vintagerock.com.
Well, that's great. I'm really proud of you. I haven't seen you in a long time. You have done such great things, and I'm really happy for you. And keep in touch and let us know how the progression is with what you're doing and bridging the gap.
We need everybody. Our whole philosophy is the world is a rock and roll band. It's inclusive. That's why it's for kids, adults, younger people, whatever. It's just it's one big human family, and so.
Not always happy, but all human and all with our faults and ready to bridge them and forgive them, and let's move on.
Well, there's a great a woman, Sufi mystic named Rabia, and she said, music helps us to forgive. So when we have a song, when we might have a problem, let's find a common song that we love together, and miraculous things happen.
Isn't there a saying, music soothes the savage beast?
It's a good one. I think that might be Shakespeare. And Albert Ayler, the great jazz musician, said music is the healing force of the universe. And the great John Coltrane said, all we need is a little love supreme, which is kind of a combo of John Lennon and John Coltrane.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Lanny, for your time and telling us about the great things that you and Matt Sorum and some of your other friends are doing.
Yeah, awesome.
That's awesome. Thanks.